This episode is sponsored by Mountain Rose Herbs. Check out their online shop full of organic goodies. Soulmates, we're talking about organically grown herbs, spices, teas, essential oils, everything you need for your health journey.
And I just love how passionate Mountain Rose Herbs has been when it comes to meeting our needs and doing it without compromising that organic quality. Their goal is more about people, the plants, the planet over the profit.
Mountain Rose Herbs is Oregon's first zero waste facility, delivering us vibrant, tasty, and pesticide-free products with environmentally friendly packaging.
And to ensure the best ingredients, they even partner with organic farmers and wild harvesters.
So if you love Mountain Rose Herbs already, go ahead and learn more by heading over to mountainroseherbs.com.
Use our discount code SOULFILLING10 to receive 10% off your order. SOULFILLING10.
Awesome. Yes. So, welcome to another episode of Soul Filling, where you get your soul fed. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jasmine.
And I'm Kobe.
And today we are talking about what it is for us. And let me really break this down for you guys. You know how everybody is on the internet and it's like, it's the blank for me. Or if you're talking about Soul Filling podcast, it's the soul for me. So we want to know what it is for you in different categories. So this is going to be a fun, light conversation, but you know, we bound to go deep sometimes. So we don't know what each other are going to ask, but we're going to bring up different categories to see what it is for us. Okay? So who wants to get started?
Yeah. Well, I'll go. So yesterday we just did a podcast interview with Art in Many Forms with Precious. And this is one thing that just kept coming up the entire time. And I know like right now we always been talking about we in the middle of a pandemic, and COVID's going on, and in which a lot of things are happening. But then she said something that really stood out, and I'm like, I'm gonna adopt this and I'm adding this. It is not a pandemic, y'all. It's a blessdemic. So okay. Like it is when you really just change your perspective and think about it, like this really has been a blessdemic for me. I mean, of course, I've had my downs just like we all have. I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like it's perfect. But when I'm just, my boyfriend and I, we were just talking, Jarvis, he was saying, this is the most financially stable we've ever been. And I was sharing that yesterday, like, this is the time, became debt free. My savings like quadrupled, like, just things that, my investments are more intentional. Oh, and I'm a Forex trader. So this has just been one of the most profitable weeks for me, like, because, just learning that whole skilling of it itself and actually, profiting. So it's just like so many things are like coming full circle. So I can honestly say this has been a blessdemic. The growth in Soul Filling, Tiff was just saying how we had 2,000 listeners in a week. I was like, okay, numbers coming for the month. Like, let's keep them growing and coming. And then we're working on some projects. So I'm just like, this is really a blessdemic, and just changing your mindset to focus on the positive, because when you focus on the positive, you get more positive things coming into your life. So it's the blessdemic for me.
Hey.
So what out of the blessdemic, like if you out of everything in the blessdemic, what is it for you particularly?
Like just choosing one.
Yeah, man.
One. That's tough. If I had to choose only one thing, it would probably be. It's hard. I would have to go with family over everything, because that's why I do it. That's why, like, the financial security ever even matters. That's why, you know, that's why I just, and just seeing I go on a whole tangent and wanting to hit everything. It just be so hard to hit one. But, you know, just, and even the growth with our soulmate, to just feeling like I'm moving in purpose. You know, yesterday when we were talking about living in excellence and living in your genius, that really struck a chord, where living in your excellence is, and maybe y'all can remember it a little better, or can hit on it a little better. But from what I remember, living in your excellence is that doing that thing without even trying, but it just comes easily to you. Is that what living in your excellence is?
Yes, ma'am. That's it.
And then living in your genius is, which one was living in your genius?
So basically, living in your genius is when you are doing the things that fulfill you. When you're doing those things, you just feel like you're so much joy, you're in perfect alignment. And so,
Okay, so living in your excellence is in alignment. Living in your genius is doing something you're good at.
no. Living.
I mean, the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking it in my head. I said excellence first and genius second. So excellence is doing something you're good at. Genius is when you living in your aligned self. So feeling like, you know, really finding what that genius is. And I know soul feeling is one of those things, for sure. Like, I just feel like I can do this all day and I don't even know where the time goes. And I don't even care when I'm doing soul feeling, and I just feel full after it. I never feel drained. So just putting plans and systems in place to make sure that I'm living in my genius. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Finding systems makes my life easier, so that I can function and operate out of my genius. I'll go with that one. How about for you all? What is the one thing in the blessed demic that causes this to be a blessed demic for you all?
Can I say two things? I know I told you.
I know. You can't just say one thing. Yes, go for it. Say as many as you want. Really, I really wanted y'all to say all of them, but you said one.
So it's protection for me, really. So, you know, my mama grew up in the church. She was a preacher's kid. But when this pandemic started, she put some like wine in a bowl, and she had a paintbrush, and she went outside of our house, and she literally painted the door. And she put some wine on it, but it was a representation of the blood of Jesus to protect us during this time. And so, you know, I was laughing at her. I'm like thinking she's crazy, but at the same time, let's talk about how good God has been, you know, for my family in particular. You know, it's just been not only protected, but blessed and blessed beyond measure, beyond capacity of what we could ever think of or have asked. And so, you know, I pray for protection every day for my family and my friends, because this is like, I don't say every day because I'm like, God, he's like, you lying, not every day, but every time I think about it, you know, I really do pray for protection and spread the blood of Jesus over my family and friends and myself, just because I know there are so many people who have lost people in this pandemic, and it's been so hard for them. But I'm just really thankful that for my family, that we have been protected so far and until the time. But so it really is the protection of blood of Jesus Christ for me.
And for me, it's really been just, you know, my baby boy. You know, the fact that I am becoming a mom, and then I've had this time to really just prepare for that, because I just couldn't imagine, you know, if things were the way they were, you know, and I was still hustling, busting, moving, you know, and didn't have that time to really prepare. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. But I think everything happens for a reason. So it's the timing for me. I'll say that. It's the timing.
That's so good. I like that. And that is true, because you, Kobe, you were traveling. Yeah. If y'all don't know, Kobe really was traveling a lot for her job. But so this is perfect timing for you.
Yeah.
this blessed demic it is the time in specific for everyone, because it's really giving people the time to see what their zone of genius is, or what they really want for their life. And I think that we should probably let them know where we're getting these terms from. So I haven't read the book yet. I don't think none of us read the book yet, but there's this book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And they were talking about this book on Kevon Stages and Melissa's podcast Love Hour, and it just got us like whoop 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 whoop, like we got to read that book. But I know a little bit about it because they talk about it in their podcast, and they just talk about the different zones of genius and how to basically have a life that with the upper limit, basically unveiling the limits in your life. So we'll talk about that on another podcast, but I just wanted y'all to know where we got those terms from. But yes, okay. Next category.
Before we go to the next one, I just wanted to talk about like stay a little bit on the timing one, because I just feel like that timing thing was literally, God was just showing us divine timing yesterday. Like how everything was just like so set out so perfectly. It just makes me think about, like you said, it's the timing for me. It's the how everything came full circle for me, like within the time, and how you was literally just watching Kev on stage, and then we walk into the interview, and then the book, The Big Leap, was sitting right there on the table, and that was the only book she had in the whole entire Airbnb.
That was the timing for me. It's the divineness for me, because out of all the books in the entire world, that's why I asked, is this the only book you have here? Because I'm like, maybe she packed 7 books or something. But no, like that was
wow. And then even on top of that, how we even got the interview in the first place. Y'all met where? Like maybe you could tell the story, like how that even came full circle.
So yes, so if we are talking, okay, so what happened yesterday is me and the girls, we had this interview with Precious, which she is the creator of Art in Many Forms. And so I met her in LA in October, and we at this, and she had Art in Many Forms there, and I was just so inspired because I was like, oh, I really love this event. And I, you just want to give people, especially Black women, their props when they do something amazing. So I just let her know, like, hey, I really like this, because it was so quaint, but it was also so very inspirational. And everybody on that panel I follow to this day, and they're very just so uplifting. And she was just like, okay, well, where do you live? And I'm like, Houston. And she's like, well, let's do one there. I'm like, okay, well, let me know what you need. And so basically, we tried to do it here, but then the pandemic hit, and I didn't think it was going to happen. I'm like, oh, she's not going to want to do it. But she still made a pivot in her business to still have Art in Many Forms be cross country, and just doing it in a video form. And so she asked me to like send me all the people, like some dope people you think could be interviewed. And I'm like, okay, look, I'm like Krista, Michelle, Lenora, go JJ, tape out. I'm just like all the amazing people, like I know. I'm like, look, you need more. And then at the end of the day, she was like, you know what? How about we just interview Soul Filling? I'm like, I then, like, okay. And so we ended up doing this amazing interview together. But what really got us hyped up too is she paid us.
Girl, no blessings on blessings on blessings.
And it's just it just feels phenomenal to be able to get paid for our zone of genius. But also, once you get paid for something, for doing something that you've done for so long, but also doing something that you love, even if it's not like the most money in the world, it makes you open your mind to say, wow, there is money. It's like a justification. It's like, oh, I've seen it. Now I'm exposed to like more speaking opportunities that are paid.
Right.
And so, yeah. And then also us being able to pay our speakers in the future as well. And so it was just a very aligned.
So aligned. And then we had already been saying we want to manifest monetizing our podcast, and it was just beautiful, like how the timing was just impeccable, it just all lined up, all added up. And, you know, that timing, like Kobe said, it was perfect. And then even on top of that, just timing, like, okay, we had the book, then we got paid for it, you know, doing our podcast, living in our genius. And then even it just made me think about how the whole sponsorship with Mountain Rose Herbs, how that even came full circle. We made this list like years ago, sitting outside of Whole Foods. I don't know if y'all remember that, like a long time ago. And then I even was exposed to like using Mountain Rose Herbs products because of there's this one Your Wish Is Your Command not documentary, but interview, so to speak, on YouTube by Kevin True. And he always talks about herbs and how it's important to get organic herbs opposed to, you know, regular herbs and even with teas, because these have a lot of pesticides and all these harmful things that could take the nutrients out of the teas and things. And so then I got really deep and I was like gung-ho on Dr. Sebi approved. I was going hard back in the day. Like I wasn't eating nothing that wasn't Dr. Sebi approved. I was like a strict vegan at this time. And so this was a product that I could truly like say that I used, I put in my body, I know the quality. And then it was like when they reached out, well, when they responded back out to us and accepted the sponsorship, it was just like, for me, it was like a huge deal. Like it was like working with someone that like you truly, like you don't have to fake the funk. And it's so beautiful when it's coming from something so genuine. I was just like, it's just crazy how everything comes full circle. It's just so crazy.
Yes. And I'm so glad you brought that up because we're big on that too. Because if there's a sponsor that comes to us that we do not feel like will fill the souls of our soulmates, we won't do it. It just, and that just goes to speak. I was listening to the Friend Zone podcast, and they just hit their 5 years and they have millions of listeners. And I'm just thinking to myself, you know, that's going to be us one day. But they talk about how people were asking them like, why don't you do this? Why aren't you on TV? All these different things. And they were saying like, yeah, people have given us opportunities to do these things, but you have to be able to be in alignment with those things. They're like, you don't know how many things that we walked away from. And in this, because of contract basis, but also because some products they don't believe in, so they're not going to promote it to their audience. And so I just think it's very important to know all opportunities aren't opportunities for you. They might be good for someone else, but you want to make sure you're going with the sponsorships, the opportunities that align with who you are, and have integrity behind it. So yeah, I was super excited about Mountain Rose Herbs as well. So we're just really happy over here, I guess. So it's the everything for me.
I'm telling you, it's the blessdemic. It's the blessdemic for me.
Yes. So I have one. Do y'all have anything more on the blessdemic?
I think it was on timing.
Okay. Oh, okay. So mine is okay. So I saw this girl because I ain't gonna take a status like this, but she said it's the me for me, and I said, oh, hallelujah. Okay, yes,
I love that.
the me for me. And so I want to ask you guys, and I want to ask you soulmates, because a lot of times we don't really be bigging up ourselves. I mean, I do, but some people have a hard time doing that. So I want to know, what is it for you that is like for you? Y'all take your time to think about it, because I haven't even thought about it, but I do know it's the me for me.
Yeah. And I'll say this because I wrote one down, and you know, it goes into the line of, you know, how we are so loyal to, you know, our friends, our families. We're so loyal to, you know, even TV shows like, oh, it's Sunday, oh, P-Valley, come on, right? You know, so it's that loyalty for me. So just as I am loyal to the things, you know, my employer, you know, the TV shows, the things that are important that I like, I'm just as loyal to me that, you know, as I am to those other things.
And how are you loyal to yourself? Because that's good.
Yeah. So just going after, I think just with this pandemic, just really honing in and saying, okay, you know what? These are the things that I want for myself. These are the things that I want to see in the future. And just really, working on that thing, monetizing soul filling, being more organized. And I've really, taken time to, make my bed every morning and keep this dresser clean and keep my closet clean. I know that was something that I did at the very beginning of the pandemic, which showed y'all the transition of my closet. Um, um, just really working on myself and whatever in the ways that I want to see, improvement in.
I love it. I love it. Can I say one for you? For me?
Yes.
It's the going after these sponsorships for me.
Yes.
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 Yes. Thank you.
Yes, it's the making it happen for me, and I really appreciate it.
Yes, we
There's so
do.
many other things. It's the whole you for me.
It's the you for me. The whole you. Sound like we saying the alphabet. It's the you for me. Okay. Oh, I love it. I love it. For me, it's the me for me for the I think now, since the pandemic has come and just as of recently, it's giving me the time to just slow down and like really sit back and look at and ask myself, what do I want? And what fulfills me, and so acknowledging what truly makes me whole. So I think taking that time out for myself to see what fulfills me, like I was saying earlier, with tapping into the genius and your excellence. So I know that I'm good at like helping people. Like I can go really, really hard for others, like so hard, go hard for my job, go hard for my students, go hard for my mama, my daddy, my grandma, like my family, my boyfriend, everyone. I can go really hard. But then it just recently, it just came like, I want to say within the last month or so, I really just been taking that time to just sit down and be in touch with what I want for myself, whether it's like, I know my financial goals, but like even crafting those, knowing my like my living, my dream home situation, so to speak, like just so being true to myself and giving myself time to actually dream of what I want and make plans and create systems to go get and get that thing for me, like not just for everybody else, but doing it for me. So that's what it is for me for right now.
You don't have to tell you what it is for me. It's the depth for me. Okay, it's the depth of your advice. Your spirit is good. Your spirit is good. That's all I gotta say. Your spirit is good. It's warm. All right. Okay. So for me, of course, it's the me for me, but it's the positivity for me. And I'm able to look at the positive of almost everything. And I know like people talk about toxic positivity and stuff like that. But for me, I really feel like positivity for me is survival. Like that's how I'm able to survive in life, is by looking at the brighter side of things. And that lets me not get down or depressed, because I'm always looking at, okay, there's something to this. There's just something better on the way. No, like this is for a reason.
Right.
And so it really, to be able to be my full me is the positivity. So just having a positive outlook on life is
Yes.
fun.
Yes. I love that. Well, we got to do one for you since you did one for. Well, I'm gonna do one. It's I would say for you, it's the act of inspiring, the act of inspiration for me. How like you go out, you you become what you say you're gonna become. Like far as like it's very inspirational, like seeing you get your own apartment, your dream apartment, y'all. And I went apartment shopping with Tiffany. Like we went on back when the city was open, we went over there in Highland Village. We was looking at some luxurious ass apartments, but this one, like Tiffany was just like, this is the one that speaks to me. And like to see it years later, to see it come, actually probably like 2 years or a year and a half later, actually come into fruition, it's just beautiful. Seeing you pay off your credit card debt, your not credit card, student loan debt, car loan. It's just like, you know, getting things done for me, like how you do it, like the inspiration. You inspire me to be a higher me. So it's that for me.
Appreciate it.
And then Kobe, I just gotta get on my girls. It's the amazing friends for me. Like Kobe is literally just her whole, I don't even know where to start. It's just your whole everything, your whole, or like just you inspire me too. Like right now, she be about to be a whole mom. Just how she just goes so hard. Like when Kobe says she do something, like Tiffany said, it's the getting it done. Like, and you do it like so effortlessly and gracefully, like graciously. It's just like you just always have this calm aura. So it's the getting it done at ease and making it look like so effortlessly for me, which is also inspiring. Like this has been the most peaceful pregnancy I ever seen. Most pregnant women be walking around, my back hurt, my feet swell. Like, and you ask Kobe, you check on her, she could be like, it's a great process. I'm just loving my son. I'm like, girl, it's the inspiration for me. Like, okay, like, so it's just been, and like even with the sponsorships, like Tiff was saying, just getting things done, helping Soul Feeling get to that next level like never before. It's all that for me. Like y'all are my best friends for me, like the world.
Yeah.
I love y'all too.
It's the friendship for me. It's everything. What's another one, guys? This is fun.
Ooh, I'm trying to decide which one I want to do.
And soulmates, make sure you know what it is for you too, because this is a part of self-love, acknowledging what it is for you, and it could be multiple things. So
I think I said all mine.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm just loving this whole moment right now. The Blessdemic is here, and it's just making. And I love the whole topic because it's like we often look at, you know, and I love how the positive spin on it. It's for me. It's like it's forcing you to look at the positivity in it all. In it all.
I have more categories if y'all need one. If y'all need
go ahead. Yes.
Okay. So, you know, since we're talking about people, and you know, I just love God because it's just very divine. So I think this is a good moment to talk about what it is for your partner, what it is for y'all's particular partners. What is it about them for you?
As I look at him, let me see. Yeah, he's right here. I don't know if he's paying attention or not.
Okay.
Yeah, we about to talk about you real quick. he turned around slowly, gives me these eyes. Like, wait, y'all talking about me? Mm-hmm. No, for me, is his presence. Like he is so present and like there for me. That's what it is. Like anytime I really need something at this point, it's like the first person I call, and he's always there. I'm about to get all misty eyed and stuff, but no, it's a blessing because it's him being there for me, whether it's anything. Like the other day my battery went out in my car Like he's just like, oh yeah, but he couldn't just leave instantly. But it was just so amazing how the universe worked. I happened to be with him at his job when it happened. And so he's just like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'll cash app you here, go to the nearest Walmart. And it was just like he was just there. Whether it's like building anything around the house, my little handyman, like it's just whenever like I get groceries, he's like, don't touch any of the groceries. I got them. I'm like, babe, I can just grab the bread or the eggs. No, I got it. Just go in the house. I'm like, okay, so you spoiling me. I ain't gonna know how to do stuff. Like, but it's like in a few minutes. But it's just him being there for me and like the growth together and figuring things out together. Not saying it's perfect, but it's just that being there through it all in spite of it for me.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's the partnership and teamwork for me. Like it's the, some people in most relationships that I've seen, you have that dominant one, I wear the pants. No, I wear, people trying to overpower the other, but it's the way that we look to each other for, advice and help and, that guidance to, that it's teamwork. Like, it's that balance. I know what he is strong in, and I, let him take the lead on those things. He knows my strengths and weaknesses. He lets me take those, that leadership on those things. And it's just that balance, that flow for us.
I love that. It's the men treating my best friends right for me. Yes. They better spoil my babies. All right. So Black love, y'all. Black love. These are some strong Black men. Okay, let's talk about it. It's so amazing. I love seeing y'all with y'all means. So also want to talk about singlehood. That me. And I just recently read an article, literally today. It was just talking about on Nicole. They're just talking about basically what to do in your singlehood, basically not wasting it. And I thought this was really good. So if we're talking about what it is for me in singleness, I want to say it's the discovery for me. It's the discovery for me. And what this article was saying is just like, she was talking about how she's married now, but she was talking about how she spent so much of her time like really beat up about how a man was treating her, or thinking about whether or not she'll ever be able to get married, and just always thinking about she'll be complete when she meets her mate. So once she stopped thinking like that, she was like, wait, no, this is the time I could really go in for myself. I can travel, I could explore, I could do what I want, start, whatever you want to do. And of course you could do this with a partnership, but you don't have to think about anybody else in this situation, but really discovering who you are and just enjoying life. And, I just really want to push that, because you can, like, I think it's so okay to want to be in a relationship, but you also don't want to waste your singleness in the freedom that you have within it. Have fun dating, have fun doing whatever you want, have fun accomplishing whatever your goals and putting your whole self into it. Because once you do have a partner, y'all are a partner. And and it becomes one, essentially, if you're heading to marriage. And so, so it's the discovery for me of what I really want out of life. And also it's the freedom to be able to really just do whatever I want. That makes sense. So
the selfishness, to be selfish. Yes. Yeah. Hey. Can't just go to Chick-fil-A and just get something for me. I got to think about, hey, if I come back to this Chick-fil-A, don't have something for him.
Man, let's talk about it. No, but Tiff, I wanted to ask you, what has been one of the biggest self-discoveries for yourself that you have discovered?
It's just that I can have everything. if that makes sense. And I think it's because of the book, even though I have not read this book yet, but it's just thinking and talking to the people that are in my life now. And if I don't know how to say it, I don't want to say in my life, but even like one of the clients I've have, and the fact that she's able to help so many people become so financially stable. And I'm just seeing a whole new world of abundance. And so I'm discovering that abundance is for me as well. And so and I feel like I'm being revealed, like there's more out there, and it is okay to have those things. And like the book says, it talks about like one of the things that, you know, Precious brought up is the feeling that you are undeserving is one of the things that keeps us back. So like sometimes I feel undeserving, and I haven't even made it yet. Sometimes I feel so undeserving because I was able to essentially quit my job and be okay, have the apartment of my dreams, have an amazing family. And sometimes I feel undeserving of that, but we have to take that away because we are. That's why I always go back to what the life that God does want for us is a life of abundance. So yeah, I've discovered that there's a abundance in this life. And just like the things that I really want about, you know, the zone of genius is just like I want to live my life like in alignment and fulfillment. And so though I might not be there yet, I am working towards creating a life that is where it could be soul filling podcast, helping others. Like I really want to build Black communities. I really want to be at the park with kids reading to them. Like I want to build community. And so also one more thing, the discovery is about I'm really into divineness because I just feel like we're divine, timing is divine, and I really pay attention to signs. So I do pay attention to numbers. I do pay attention when I hear things over and over again in different aspects, and I lean on those things as what God has put in ordering my steps. Just another thing I learned. It's like God really, really, when you be looking back and paying attention to the signs that God is really lining out your life for you. And so I'm just happy. So yeah, that's what I learned. That's what I discovered.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful. It just makes me now want to say it's the abundance for me. Like, because I really think we do have to change and transform our minds to really be accepting and knowing that we're deserving of that abundance. Because it just makes me think, and I think I've done this before in the past, like, you know, I pray for abundance, God, I want this, God, I want that. And then abundance is all around you. And then I noticed at one point in time, I'm like, we don't need all of this. We don't need all of that. But I'm like, dang, but then again, I did just pray for abundance. I did just pray for like abundance. But then it's like you contradict yourself by saying like, I'm not deserving, just subconsciously telling yourself these things. So I really feel like I have to be conscious at first until it becomes something that I do unconsciously of accepting abundance and all that God wants to pour into my life, no matter what it may look like. It could be an abundance of something that you're not even thinking about, but being willing to accept that abundance so that the abundance can continue to grow and flourish. Because I was just thinking like, I never thought about it, but I've done that. And I do that now. Like, so just being accepting to the abundance once the abundance do come, instead of pushing it away and seeing that it's too much.
Yes. And another thing that Precious talked about, and that's also in the book, is like not wanting to outshine others, which I thought was really crazy of her to say because people don't know how inspirational they are. Like I want to know how she got to where she is, you know, at 27, being an entrepreneur and really, you know, creating and manifesting a life of her dreams. And I want to know, like, what are you doing? I want to know how God is blessing you. And it's not an outshining thing. It's just like, I need to see you shine so I can know that I can shine too. And so That's just a thing. And that's why people should not think like that. Like, oh, I don't want to outshine no one. It's not a fact. It's not a thing of you outshining anyone. It's just like you shine so others can shine, so other ones can see the light.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I only have one more in my. Oh, I have two more. Do y'all have any? I feel like I set this up wrong. Okay. So let's talk about family. What is it for your family that it is for you? I can go first if y'all need me to, if y'all need to think.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. It's the love. It's the love for me. It's my mother taught us how to love so good that I know how to be loved and I know how to give love. And so it's really the love for me. I really love how my brother loves me. I really love how my mom loves me. I really love how my nephew loves me. And I love the ability to be able to teach people how to love me. Like even with my dad was raised a different way. He's not as affectionate as me and my mother are and my brother are, but with me being able to give love to him, he gives love back to me. Though it might take a while, but like he used to not say like love you when we get off the phone, but now he's the first person to say it. He's the person who say come over. He's the person to check on me when it used to be opposite, where I was the one always reaching out and stuff like that. So ability to teach people how to love me the way I want to be loved as well. And I don't know, I'm very grateful for the real true affectionate love. That's why I'm always all over y'all. Y'all see I'm very touchy to even my friends. It's just because I just love. So yes, it's the love for me.
Yeah. I think it's something that all Black families that we have the ability to do, just Black people in general. It's like that the ability to like find to laugh even through the hard times, or to smile even through things are going crazy. So it's just that joy and that happiness for me. Yeah. I guess a lot. It's a lot. Well, I don't know if y'all know, but my grandfather is here with us now, and he's been living with us for the past few months, and he hasn't had like a full diagnosis, but he is showing signs of dementia and Alzheimer's, and then dealing with a person who's dealing with alcoholism, having a parent who's struggling with that, a mom who is having to deal with a father who is, diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's, husband that's struggling, and then, still raising 2 kids. So it's just that joy and still being able to find that joy and happiness, even during difficult times. Like, it's beautiful.
That is so beautiful.
That is so beautiful. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's the still finding a means and a way to be there for one another for me. With my family, like I talked about all the time, we are so close. It's a lot of us, especially more so on my father's side, because that's who I was raised by. So when I'm talking about my family, I'm majority talking about my father's side of the family, like my grandmothers, my aunts, and just like seeing them still constantly step in and take different shifts to go to grandma's house. We all just like come together. That's been one of our things that we just love to do, but the pandemic has been a little challenging, but like I just love to see how we're still finding a way to come together, of course, safely, to be there for one another. Like it's like we're in a pandemic, but we're still communicating, still calling one another, still FaceTiming, like still having that lines of communication to talk it out. And for Jarvis, just like I said, because I feel like he's family, because we live together and I'm here with his family. just it's the unity and the working together. It's that you have to work together. And I just love, like, if problems do arise, like Kobe says, it's not anything that's perfect, but it's we just know we're gonna have disagreements, but we still have that love and that joy. We might, disagree at 9 o'clock in the morning, but by 4 o'clock, we all come together. What you did today? How is things? Good morning, So still having that fellowship and finding joy and beauty in spite of it all, what's going on. So it's the togetherness for me. And then and it's the growth. I think about my brother Dominique, and just him, like our relationship, because like we've always been like two peas in a pod since way back elementary school. And so but then when I went off to college, he went off to college, and we became in our adult lives, and just seeing how everything's becoming full circle, how him and my boyfriend are now really close. It's just like seeing the family, the togetherness, and like seeing the growth and prosper and making business moves together. It's just the growth with the family and blending the families. That's what it is for me.
I love that. Family is so important. And I feel like we are going through these things because it's just a time to reflect on the good things that are in our lives. And there's just so much good when you think about it. So the last one is the Black community. That's the one I wanted to talk about. And like, I feel like a lot of our family traits are the same as the Black community. But I guess for me it would be I feel like I'm about to say something against Kobe. Let me try to switch it up. I feel like it's the come back to me. It's a lot of things, but I want to hit the
so many layers. For the Black family, for me, community for me, the Black community, it's the unity for me that we've been displaying more than ever. I love, like, at one point in time, you would feel like you would just walk past another Black person in the grocery store and you would just go on about your business. But now I feel like we're taking that time to even just do something as little as engage and say, hey, speaking to, like, you're out, or just that acknowledgement. Like, I feel like we're all on one accord where it's just like, I see you, I recognize you, how you doing today? Like something as small as that. And then maybe you spark up a conversation, maybe you don't. But I just love the warmness amongst us as a nation, what I'm feeling like, because every time, I don't know, maybe I'm manifesting this when I see my people, we just give each other, whether it's a smile or a hey, I love the unity that I'm seeing more than ever. I'll just leave it at that, unity, because we are really unifying, and I think in so many ways, and growing together in so many ways.
And likewise, on that same note, it's like the Black love, the Black support for me. Like, and of course, my timeline, my algorithm, whatever, it has changed because now I've started liking and following more like parenting and mom pages, and like I'm seeing a lot of newlyweds and people who dating. So it's just that love, that Black love for me. It's that for me. So just seeing that, like it's out there, because on TV they don't really portray it a lot, but on social media you really get to see that the Black love. And then the support side of it is just we're seeing so many Black people connect from different places, because you used to have to travel to go and connect with people and to meet with them and work with them. But now we've been utilizing Zoom and all social media to connect and support each other. So it's really that for me.
Yes, Totally agree. So I have to go ahead and piggyback. Oh my God. I know I'm just saying piggyback. Kobe. Yeah. But yes, the Black support in the intentionality behind it, because you go to Black market to intentionally buy Black, people hiring Black people to intentionally put money in people's pockets based off of their expertise, people putting people in position to just support them to be able to be economically stable. And not only that, like you see on social media, Black women are the ones who uplift you more than anybody. Okay, let's talk about it. And so it's just like, it goes back to even when I was talking about during our interview, and I probably talked about it in our soul filling, how this Black woman made me realize I was devaluing myself, undervaluing myself. She was the one to say, like, no, you need to charge more for what you give. And that kind of support, and being able to do that for me, or even someone being able to refer me, it's crazy. Even my brother being able to hire me, I'm just like, the support is crazy. And we also do that in soul filling. Like, we're looking to see, whoa, we can't wait to put money in people's pockets. The people that have been grinding with us, we see y'all and we're like, we can't wait so we can like really work together. And I just think it's so pretty. It's so like amazing. And it's no handout. Everybody gets what they deserve. So anyway, so that's it. So basically everything in life for me.
Basically, I mean, I love it. Alrighty, y'all. What time is it? It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time. It's affirmation time, y'all. If this is your first time tuning in on the Soul Filling Podcast, we always end our podcast with a positive affirmation. So what the heck is an affirmation? An affirmation is any statement that you are using to transform your life. Either you transforming your life for the good, or you transforming your life for the not so good. Even in the Bible, it states, let the weak say, keyword, you gotta say. It says, let the weak say, I am strong. So on those days when you're feeling down and out, sick and tired, and all the negative emotions in the world, don't affirm negativity over your life. Instead, speak uplifting, encouraging things over your situation, over your life, and watch how God puts his hand in and just bring you out of that. Okay, so I'm affirming that there are millions, billions, trillions of you all out there tuned in, and it's 3 of us, and we're going to go ahead and end this thing off. Who wants to go ahead and say their positive affirmation first?
I'll go. I am flourishing in every aspect of my life.
I am acknowledging all the blessings God sends in my life.
I am grateful for God's grace.
Yes, Lord. All right, guys, make sure that if you already subscribed, it's the subscribing for me. Okay, that's all I got. It's giving us a 5-star rating and writing a review on Apple Podcasts for me. So if y'all could do that to help us get higher in the rankings, so Soul Filling Podcast can be, and it will be, millions of people listening and getting their soul fed, so we can make this world a better place in our little corner of the world. I sound like Hey Friend Hey. I totally told that from her. But so yeah, please follow us on social media, Soul Filling Podcast everywhere. That's SOULFILLING, and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you guys want to listen. Listen. We're here for you. And if something struck a chord, please share this on your social media platforms so other people can listen to this fantastic episode. We truly love you guys.
Yes. Yes, and then if you have not done so already, head over to our Patreon right now. Like, stop what you're doing and go head over there. Just go ahead and sow a seed in us, guys. If we said or you ever listened to an episode that resonated with your soul, go ahead and feed our souls as well as we continue to feed your soul. The link to our Patreon is always nearby. Just go ahead and donate from the heart, guys. And
Yes.
until next time, soulmates, we love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.